redemption. You need to realize this vision.
What? Feels like I'm having this redemption vision. As if everyone's forgiven for the schemes they ripped and all the wrong deeds they dipped and dabbled in. We all have our days of slipping, that's what makes it so challenging to hit the right note. The most thought out quotes get the most respect. And there is many crooked ways that brothers choose to achieve. That's when the karma reversed all of the tricks up they sleeve. So bad they couldn't believe they had to take the fresh leave. And when they sat down and thought about all they could have accomplished and how they forgot about the truth that was promised. Cause all they wanna do is see the conscience be abolished. Yet little do they know the upright will be recompensed. With more and more cameras on every damn intersection. Let us know we're being watched when we're resisting arrest. And it's a redemption vision, and it's a vision of redemption, y'all. Everyone should be aware of the things we encounter and what we speak of. In reference to the truth and righteousness, it's harder than it looks just to maintain this.
Dedicate your soul to the superior, the most powerful wing carrier. No landing, throw the mic in there and I'll catch it from where I'm standing. No interruption while we jamming, filling those growing pains like Kirk Cameron. Cite the lesson, vision of redemption is how we trust it. The H-U-M-B-L-E hip-hop attracts all the physical senses. Running in the backwoods, that's what the rest is. The humble coalition, reproducing, unfolding the fusion. Conveniently, the sign of what needs more seasoning. You said it from whack, but your ears are still clinging. More MCs, Babylon wants to turn into enemies. 23 degrees, I would think they would have enough cheese. For the fact they rats, embezzling our souls and walking them like tats. Breaking conversations, turning to chats. Masses of deception. What? Yeah, vision of redemption, y'all. Everyone should be aware of the things we encounter and what we speak of. In reference to the truth and righteousness, it's harder than it looks just to maintain this. Soon as I step in, we view a perception, vision of redemption, headed in a direction of freedom, reflecting on types of slavery. Jobless I now with awards of bravery, righteous calligraphy. They bring this cavalry of crucifixion. See the masons prepare for this type of affliction, saying we can't pay attention, so they plan to send us to a camp of concentration. Never see us facing caught in a situation like that. Try to keep us trapped and fumbling, but I'm not stumbling. I'm overcoming them, overstanding. Not over woman, man, and child. Just a Babylonian running away from that truth with political jargon. Where's that coming from? A reliable source of protection. You need direction. Vision of redemption.
Everyone should be aware of the things we encounter and what we speak of. In reference to the truth and righteousness, it's harder than it looks just to maintain this.
It's harder than it looks
just to maintain this.
It's harder than it looks
just to maintain this.
It's harder than it looks
just to maintain this.
It's harder than it looks
just to maintain this. Vision of redemption. Vision of redemption. Vision of redemption.
Hazardous material, humble redemption. There ain't nothing like being without your sense of direction. But if the spirit your compass, then you'll be led to perfection. And that means getting over each and every distraction. That's when knowing what's up becomes your number one factor. You got to know that everything's temporary, and that includes the material. For a lot of people that's scary, and it shouldn't be. They're just afraid of what they would be. With no bank account, they got no faith in much doubt, and they'd be hopeless if they fall since security ran out. Yet we realize the material's hazardous, so we stay up on the scheme. That way there's no way of trapping us, cause where we wanna be, material couldn't take us. You can tell from the sound that the underground gave us. The patience that one needs to know that it's disastrous, the hazardous material.
Hazardous material released from companies, intentionally aimed for industry. Relentless, children use as targets through radio, television, lack of awareness to be brainwashed. But the good teaching starts at home, raising my seeds to have a mind of their own, so they don't fall victim, really pace that's too fast. Boasting, bragging material items for cash. That's what they intend, mention through a sermon. Preached by hypocrites who should be more concerned when youth is listening. Virgin is be hearing it.
it. They corrupt the specimen and rob them for their innocence. Cause you ain't true, follow through about what you speak about. Blame yourself for the way the industry is and how they doubt. This culture's coming to an end, this music's gonna yield. Hip-hop is something that you build. Since when did how much money you have represent your skill? I feel it was a misrepresentation. Word about your reputation should have no relation to this MC occupation. And for some producers I wouldn't be surprised if they made sampling against the law, but that wouldn't stop our cause. Musically inclined, practice to come new and refine, which they could define. Like where they got their definition from, when they can't even pick up a bass guitar, even drum, and got the nerve to call themselves a musician, more like magician. Your act is disappearing cause the truth is missing. They not inventing, so let me not contradict. My man Snare play the mic and turn it to an instrument.
A reasoning sessions to up those who were misled in religion. Decades later, activists started missing. Assassinations set up by listeners. Seminars in the memory of war hunting performed by these prisoners. Recharge transistors amplify the clearest momentum produced from the inner. Radio stations becoming bitter. How can we prevent this size that don't fit it? They won't consider handout every time they see some shine from some glitter. Customized threads ordered by the highest bidder. Hazardous material elements that shake the minds, Richter. Crucial conflict, what's your name, mister? Identification unknowing, that's what pulls the trigger. Get my point like a scissor. And you saying we acting like animals. Well, hazardous materials.
Yeah. Let me see. 10/30/73, I start my biography as the I vaguely remember conversations mentally with the almighty characteristics of a Dan I judging right to sleep. As I was foretold, sevenfold, either added to or taken away.
Same as it was back then.
It's the same as it is until this day. Now you choose your way of life you want to live, remembering telepathic advice the Most High used to give. Back in time before the flesh all truth was known. Now put to the physical test to see what you have sown. For those that didn't make it, bring out the scales, as many souls to be waiting. Before this weeping, there will be wailing and weeping, gnashing and teeth, and you don't wanna be there. It's the worst with souls mean. It's so steep, yeah.
It's so steep, it's so steep. Self-service is the level you reach when you notice it's deep. It's so steep, it's so steep. Self-purpose is the level you reach when you notice it's deep. It's so steep, it's so steep. Self-purpose is the level you reach when you notice it's deep. It's so steep, it's so steep. Self-purpose.
The burden, things men and women don't be observing. Our men's run down, no control, wanna swerve it. If I grasp the task is incomplete, 10 years from now it's the same repeat. Along with the episode, Source Magazine don't have enough mics to hold or categorize our soul. Feeling good off a strong potential, which makes redemption music so essential. Each rhyme has footage,
A positive message.
what parents find unacceptable. Tell it like it is from these four individuals' perspective. Self-purpose always remains a sentence. Invented, breaking up the DJ for what he selected. Self-purpose, cause your soul deserves it. Self-purpose, is it a furnace? Yo, check it out for the self-purpose.
It's so steep, it's so steep. Self-purpose is the level you reach when you notice it's deep. It's so steep, it's so steep. Self-purpose is the level you reach when you notice it's deep. It's so steep, it's so steep. Self-purpose is the level you reach when you notice it's deep. It's so steep, it's so steep. Self-purpose. And then they ask me, is it worth the wait? That's what the people say. I tell them this ain't no fake. You'll be thankful down the line you didn't make the mistake of accepting what's in store for the world and the states. The purpose of the brothers of age is to awake, to get you on up out of that drowsiness. Cause brothers using others' lyrics and beats and getting thousands for this. But you can see we do it all on our own. That's why people always ask
how your brothers been together so long.
It's because we stand beyond, plus our wills are strong. We evacuate the spot once our purpose is done. The good stomp the evil, now the war's been won. So tell us what's going on, that's what we begin to stomp on. Try to stick with the words, although at times it gets tense. Either right or wrong, you can't be on both sides of the fence. But when you caught in the pinch, that's when you run to the king of kings and search for the prince. And it's so steep, it's so steep. Self-purpose is the level you'll reach when you notice it's deep. It's so steep, it's so steep. Self-purpose is the level you reach when you notice it's deep. It's so steep, it's so steep. Self-purpose is the level you'll reach when you notice it's deep. It's so steep, it's so steep. Self-purpose, rock me out.
The next batter swings, presents his offerings. Before they know the shoe, they see the flux material things. Diamond rings and go watches, but can't spit the fire to add to these hot topics. True hip-hop psychotics, to hard intellect in effect. No bad situations when hectic. Busting new flows and no clothes, blessed by the majestic. Are you interested to be expected? The birth of millennium madness. Land stretched in concrete, there goes the cactus. Corrupt the people ask us for the access. Taking half of what we make and label mass taxes. Irritating as if rations. Recording companies got their advances. In large terms, juice like the current. Stuff is about to drop. When you gonna learn, everyone gets their turn. To be expected. That when redemption's on the set, we come to set it. Society's putting mad pressures, living hectic. Life isn't what they expected, but they gotta accept it. It's to be expected. That when redemption's on the set, we come to set it. Society putting mad pressures, living hectic. Life isn't what they expected, but they gotta accept it.
It's coming to a close, so straighten out your unevenness. Cause first you gotta know the truth, then believe in it. Cause how many times are we gonna see it? See what? Coming conscious on the interview and the video, you heated. Now knowing the number that you're misleading, yeah. So please don't believe everything that TV is screening. With its false ass facts, false words, and false meanings you weren't thinking. And now you're linked in to a deceptive concept set to leave minds left with nothing to use. So humble, come with the news. We won't use locks for pride, but a Nazarite guide. The guilty may run, you see from Jah you can't hide. So keep your distance from the slackers, with the evil don't go, or else you'll cling to his ways and set a trap for your soul, yeah. And you know when we come down, we come to set it. To realize in life, everything's to be expected.
Said life will be harder than you imagine. For all those resisting against the system. Never thought Illuminati would be tradition. So trendy, people only concerned for the money. Cause that's what they intend to take. All those materials that they possess, repossess. Currency is now cashless, take a guess. 660 plus 6 ways to make you succumb to the beast and barcodes unfolding. Beholding a pale horse is already on its course. So watch for the stampede, it's all but illusion. When you think that you succeed at your highest point, man, it's but vapor. So you can't believe everything that you hear, read, or see. You must prepare yourself for the worst, cause I wouldn't put it past them. Those who are first, you know they shall be the last one.
It's to be expected that when redemption's on the set, we come to set it. Society's putting mad pressures, living hectic. Life isn't what they expected, but they gotta accept it. It's to be expected that when redemption's on the set, we come to set it. Society putting mad pressures, living hectic. Life isn't what they expected, but they gotta accept it.
It's hazardous. A lot of hazardous material out there. A lot of corruption through the music. It's hazardous. We gotta realize the youth is listening. We gotta build them. Time for solutions.
A healthy set of reasoning sessions to up those who are misled in religion. Decades later, activists started missing. Assassination set up by listeners. Seminars in America were hunted performed by these prisoners. Recharge resistance, amplify the curse momentum produced from the inner. Radio stations becoming bitter. How can we prevent the sides that don't fit it? They won't consider handled every time they see some shine from some glitter. Customized threads ordered by the highest bidder. Hazardous material elements that shake the mind stricter. Crucial conflict, what's your name, mister? Identification unknown, that's what pulls the trigger. Keep my point like a scissor, and you say we acting like animals. Yo, it's a hazardous material.
Hazardous material. It's hazardous.
It's hazardous.
Material. It's hazardous.
It's hazardous.
Material. It's hazardous.
It's hazardous.
Material.
Hazardous material released from companies intentionally aimed for industry. Relentless children use as targets through radio, television, lack of awareness to be brainwashed. But the good teaching starts at home, raising my seeds to have a mind to their own, so they don't fall victim when they pace that's too fast. Boasting, bragging, material items for cash. That's what they intend mention throughout the sermon. Preached by hypocrites who should be more concerned when youth is listening. Virginians be hearing it. They corrupt the specimen and rob them for their innocence. Cause you ain't true, follow through about what you speak about. Blame yourself for the way the industry is and how they doubt. This culture's coming to an end, this music's gonna yield. Hip hop is something that you build. Since when did how much money you have represent your skill? I feel it was a misrepresentation. Worried about your reputation should have no relation to this MC occupation. And for some producers I wouldn't be surprised if they made sampling against the law, but that wouldn't stop our cause. Musically inclined, practice to come new and refined. I wish they could define like where they got their definition from, when they can't even pick up a bass guitar, even drum, and got the nerve to call themselves a musician, more like magician. Your act is disappearing cause the truth is missing. They not inventing, yeah. So let me not contradict my man. Snare play the mic, turn it to an instrument. Yeah, Halo 1, non-hazardous material.
Hazardous material. Hazardous.
It's hazardous.
Material. It's hazardous.
It's hazardous.
Material. Yeah.
It's hazardous. It's hazardous.
Material. It's hazardous.
It's hazardous.
Material.
There ain't nothing like being without your sense of direction. But if the spirit your compass, then you'll be led to perfection. And that means getting over each and every distraction. That's when knowing what's up becomes your number one factor. You got to know that everything's temporary, and that includes the material. For a lot of people that's scary, and it shouldn't be. They're just afraid of what they would be. With no bank account, they got no faith in much doubt, and they'd be hopeless if they fall until security ran out. Yeah, we realize the material's hazardous, so we stay up on the scheme. That way there's no way of trapping us. It's where we wanna be. Material couldn't take us. You can tell from the sound that the underground gave us. The patience that one needs to know. Yeah, that is disastrous, the hazardous material. Yeah.
Hazardous material.
Hazardous material. It's hazardous. It's hazardous. Material. Yeah.
It's hazardous.
It's hazardous. Material. It's hazardous. It's hazardous. Material. Yeah.
only mission to write. As I translate to enlighten on an altar and offer a sacrifice. Never alter holy water, quenching life's strife. So never thirst, but the worst is yet to come. Know where I'm coming from, cause every day dealing with these situations, making us stronger in our relations with each other. And the Most High, why try to even up the score when it's already been won? Pick this up in the book of Revelation, revealing solution against all confusion. Request reasoning before complicating, making high temperatures, causing a mirage. This is the heat of Fahrenheit, practice from sweat lives. Enables us to keep us substantial with no financial backup.
It all began with four men who knew they had to upstand. In an unwilling land, for this they lended their hands to one another, and these brothers were known for hanging tough. Always kept their thoughts polished when others swore they would rust. That only brought out the thrust and the trust that they bust. And you can catch them at the cross streets of 8th and Locust, which would be the destination after stepping for miles. Planting the seed in freestyle, hoping one day it'd grow wilder than a field full of weeds left unattended. It couldn't have been no later than mid-91 when they blended. They intended to come with styles, make vows that would never be shooken. So by early 93 they on stage, and now it's looking like they plans working out. They knew that with no doubt. You could tell by all the hypeness and response from the crowd that this is what these brothers were supposed to be doing. It's like they were sent to be messengers who
In
would
my
keep the
earlier
house
years,
moving.
the accident was fatal. Fell from 2 stories onto a concrete table, like a stack of papers compressed between the staple. MCs of the 90s are truly unfaithful. Easy put together, we will call for our label. Humble redemption with notes that are untraceable. Uneven means it's not straight. We gonna make this happen before it deteriorates into fungus. That's why it's among us to dig deeper in the bag. Rise in the morning, spin on the flag. Find my exit. This here atmosphere is festive. I now know who my family is, and that's a blessing. Does that answer your question? Solidify, can't break this tie.